The Scottish Clan Gunn has a rich and fascinating history, filled with legends of Viking ancestry, heroic battles, and tragic feuds. Its origins date back to the 12th century, when Gunni and his wife Ragnhild inherited estates in Caithness, Scotland from her brother, Harald, Jarl of Orkney. Gunni was descended from Viking adventurers, and his name itself meant war. His grandfather, Sweyn, was killed in 1171 during a raid in Dublin. Ragnhild, on the other hand, was descended from Saint Ragnvald, the founder of the great cathedral of Saint Magnus at Kirkwall. This blending of Viking and Celtic blood would shape the history of Clan Gunn for centuries to come. The first chief of Clan Gunn to appear definitively in records was George Gunn, who was coroner of Caithness in the 15th century. He was also known as Braisdeach Mor, or the Great Brooch-wearer, because of the insignia he wore as coroner. He held court in his castle at Clyth with such splendor that he rivaled any Highland chief. The Gunn's traditional enemies were the Caiths, who challenged the Gunn chiefs for political hegemony and land in the region. The feud between the two families was fueled by a personal insult when Dugald Keith allegedly coveted Helen, daughter of Gunn of Braemore. Keith surrounded her father's house, slew many of the inhabitants, and carried the hapless girl to Achigill. She threw herself from the castle tower rather than submit to her kidnapper. The Gunns repeatedly raided Keith territory, but suffered defeats at the Battle of Tannock Moor in 1438, and Durlot in Strathmore in 1464. In a battle of champions between the two families, each side was to bring 12 horses, but the Keiths arrived with 2 warriors on each horse and outnumbered the Gunns. The resulting slaughter saw the chief and 4 of his sons killed, and the great coroner's brooch stolen. James, the remaining son, avenged his family by killing Keith of Achigill, and his son at Drummoy. The Gunn's survival was threatened when the Earls of Caithness and Sutherland entered into a pact to destroy the clan, probably sealed at Gurnigo Castle around 1586. There were a number of indecisive encounters with heavy casualties inflicted on both sides. The Gunns strengthened their connection with the Mackays when Gunn of Killearn married Mary, sister of Lord Ray, the Mackay chief. The 6th chief, Donald Crotach, the Hunchback, lost the lands of Killearn through debt, and the house at Killearn destroyed, possibly due to an accident with gunpowder. However, one branch of the clan reached its pinnacle when the Gunns of Braemore, descendants of Robert, a younger son of Braisdeach Mor, rose to prominence. Sir William Gunn, brother of the Robson chieftain, fought for the Protestant King of Sweden and rose to command a battalion. He later fought for Charles I, who conferred a knighthood on him in 1639. He married a German baroness and became an imperial general.